This is an overview and first thoughts about the new generation of Unusuals released in the Dragon's Gift update. I'll be posting a full length video with all of the items and all the effects as soon as I possibly can. Going into this patch, I expected the second generation Unusuals to be tweaked and improved on the first generation of Frostivus Unusuals, but to be honest, they are all extremely underwhelming. So, in order, there are three effects. We have Gold Drop, Gold Glow, and Smoke. Gold Drop, this one here, is this generation's Candy Caster equivalent. I'll say what I said about Candy Caster again, is that this effect has a small area where the gold coins are dropped where the player stands, but in Frostivus they were candy canes and presents. If you know what you're looking for, you can sometimes spot them on the floor. If it hasn't been pointed out by somebody else, you would never notice these. I would skip these effects no matter the cost. This effect and Candy Caster are absolutely the worst unusual effects released, and I don't think they have any place in your backpack. This is what Gold Drop looks like in game. This is very zoomed in, by the way, so keep in mind it's from much further up and much further back. The second effect being Gold Glow. I was really hopeful that this would be a good effect and would be a sort of gold tint of the Frost Bloom effect from Gen 1. Frost Bloom was the best unusual effect from that set, so I had a lot of hope. But it's just this. It's like just a gold outline on all of the cosmetics and the weapons. It has very little sort of ambience or aura, and it's a really thin effect around the edges of most of the items. Again, it's barely visible, and when you're comparing these to the Frostivus effects from December, it's night and day. I would take those over these any day of the week. Also, if the weapon is a projectile, it loses that gold effect when it's thrown, and the effect comes back once it's holstered. This effect, in my opinion, is worse than Snowdrift of Gen 1, and I would take a Snowdrift over these any day, and Snowdrift wasn't particularly good. Now, Smoke is the prized effect of this release. It's this red color here. It's a small sort of these plumes of smoke that follow the item. In game, they look like this, and I mean, I also think this is tremendously underwhelming. I would like to reserve judgment before I see this on much more items first. I think that this has potential to be good on a few things, but its general movement and the way it's tracking around the hero, I think it just looks terrible, and they are all just so much more subtle and less interesting to have or to find than the Frostivus Unusuals. Anyway, my general impression for these three effects is to stay clear. Wait and see what they look like on all the heroes once those videos come out, but do not buy any preemptively because I think they're going to drop in price. They're already, the prices are way more inconsistent than they were with Frostivus. When Frostivus came out, there was an immediate market knowledge that some effects were better than others. At the moment, they kind of seem to be mushing all together. People don't really care for one more than the other. People have started to try and scam by adding smoke describers to the other items to try and get them to sell, but even then, it's still not selling super well, so I would really stay away from these if you're interested in the unusuals, and pick up some of the Frostivus ones, which are dropping in price at the moment. Also, just an end note, Valve hasn't patched any of the cosmetic bugs with last generation of unusuals, so I assume there's bugs in this set too that they're not going to ever fix, so that's something you have to keep in mind when you're looking into buying any of these.